we go where no man has gone before.
When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're not sending you. They're not sending you. They're sending people that have lots of problems, and they're bringing those problems. They're bringing drugs. They're bringing crime.
Now, Trump didn't claim that everyone coming over the southern border is a criminal, but some are. And that's true. And precisely because it is true, you are absolutely under no circumstances allowed to say it. Acknowledging that not every illegal alien improves America raises an uncomfortable question. If illegal immigration has a downside, then why has Washington allowed so much of it? If the people in charge actually cared about us, they would protect our borders.
Border Patrol agents in El Paso captured what they say is the largest group of migrants ever encountered at the border city of El Paso.
Allison, it was one of the busiest weeks for Border Patrol agents here in El Paso sector. As you mentioned, at least 1,000 people apprehended about 2 days ago. And as one DHS official telling our colleague Geneva Sands in Washington, that basically this is the largest group that border agents have encountered, particularly in recent years.
Kirk, I am going to hold you responsible. There must be thousands of them.
Since Border Patrol has really been dealing with this issue here, I can tell you that these are the kind of numbers that, of course, President Trump has been pointing to in his ongoing claim.
Hundreds of thousands. 1,771,561.
That Mexico is just not doing enough to essentially stem the flow of undocumented families through their country and then eventually ending up here in the United States.
That's assuming one Tribble multiplying with an average litter of 10, producing a new generation every 12 hours over a period of 3 days.
But they don't care, so they've let millions and millions of foreigners, whose names we don't even know for certain, stream in from abroad to use our services, lower our wages.
Kirk, you should have known. You are responsible for turning the development project into a total disaster.
Actually, he was attacking them, the gatekeepers in our national media, the people who should have been sounding the alarm about all of this, but instead made common cause with the ruling class they were supposed to be covering and keeping honest.
Mr. Barris.
And I am through being intimidated, Kirk.
Our system is rotten and corrupt, and the news media are a major reason for why that is. That's what Donald Trump pointed out. And not surprisingly, they despised him for doing it.
You have abused your authority, and you have rejected my requests. And this is a result.
Ask yourself, what's a bigger scandal to your average journalist? The fact that homicidal MS-13 gang members have flooded into this country from Central America and now terrorized communities from Los Angeles to Long Island? Or the possibility that someone might complain about that? Our system is rotten and corrupt, and the news media are a major reason for why that is.
He's seizing on unsubstantiated right-wing media reports.
Murdering the people with knives might be bad, but insulting illegal alien murderers is, in the moral hierarchy of Washington, a far graver sin.
He's seizing on unsubstantiated right-wing media reports that the caravan's been infiltrated by criminals and unknown Middle Easterners. A claim he made again tonight without offering a shred of evidence.
As the caravan, and look, that is an assault on our country. That's an assault.
Talked to a few people, and Jose is from Honduras. He was deported earlier this year. He was convicted of a felony, a convicted homicide, but he says he wants to get back to the U.S.
He's seizing on unsubstantiated right-wing media reports that the caravan's been infiltrated by criminals.
Chris, I'll hold you in irons if you don't shut up.
Without offering a shred of evidence.
I want to ask you, Jose, buenos dias.
Buenos dias.
Why are you trying to go back to the U.S.?
I want it because I got a trouble in a gang 18 in my country, Honduras. I got a lot of trouble.
And earlier this year, deported for felony?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Deport.
He's seizing on unsubstantiated right-wing media reports that
Shut up.
the caravan's been infiltrated by criminals.
Yeah, and Lucina is going to help us. Lucina, what was the crime that he committed?
He was convicted of related to murder.
Convicted of murder. Okay. Can you ask him exactly what happened?
¿Cuál es tu felonía exactamente?
Number 3.
A third-degree felony?
Intento de matar.
Attempt of murder.
Without offering a shred of evidence.
And in that caravan, you have some very bad people. You have some very bad people. And we can't let that happen to our country.
Jim, I think I've got it. All we have to do is quit feeding them. We quit feeding them, they stop breeding.
Now he tells me.
I said it when this all started, and I've been saying it, I'll say it again. It's a message that is tailor-made for his base. Time for maximum impact and amplified by Fox News. Fox business host Lou Dobbs. He's calling the migrant caravan a full-blown national security crisis.
Remember, it's going to be an election of the caravan. You know what I'm talking about. As you know, I'm willing to send the military to defend our southern border if necessary. All caused because of the illegal immigration onslaught brought by the Democrats because they refuse to acknowledge or to change the laws.
So, facts again. That's just false. Here's the truth. Democrats are on board to make serious changes in the nation's immigration laws. But the issue has reached a stalemate in Congress. That's the truth. And he's wrong about sending the military to the border. The Posse Comitatus Act forbids using the military for civil law enforcement duties outside of military bases.
That isn't going to do you any good, Kirk.
There's a serious problem with the president dehumanizing any group of people in the United States, even if they are hardened criminals.
The history of political leaders dehumanizing opponents, even criminals, and using animal metaphors is a dangerous one.
Morning, I found out that she had had babies.
Well, I'd say in that case you got a bargain.
You running a nursery, Lieutenant?
Oh, Captain. Well, I hadn't intended to, sir, but the Tribble had other plans.
These are animals. You have to wonder, does he not believe in the spark of divinity?
We're all God's children, she tells us. Spoken like someone who knows her own children will never face the consequences of the policies she supports.
Only a few weeks late. I don't see any Tribbles around here.
And you won't find a Tribble on this entire ship.
Bones! How did you do that?
Well, I cannot take credit for another man's work. Scotty did it.
If immigration is supposed to make America better, he asked, shouldn't we try to draw people from the most advanced societies? Well, it's an obvious question. You could debate it, of course, but it's a real question.
Scotty! Where are the Tribbles?
Oh, Captain, it was really Mr. Spock's recommendation.
Of course. Spock.
Based on computer analysis, of course.
Boy, I've learned a lot. One, everything we've seen is fixable.
Taking into account the possibilities of...
Gentlemen, I don't want to interrupt this Mutual Admiration Society, but I'd like to know where the Tribbles are.
Well, it was Mr. Scott who performed the actual engineering.
We're not going to let everybody you saw go.
Mr. Scott, where are the Tribbles?
Because if you do, we'll be overrun, and that'll be the end of controlling the border.
I used the transporter, Captain.
You used the transporter?
Aye.
Well, where did you transport them?
And when it comes to unaccompanied minors, change the law so we can send them back to their home country.
Scott, you didn't transport them into space, did you?
I tell you, this president's strategy has given us more tools on our toolbox than we've ever had. For the last 5 months, we've actually been removing more illegal aliens than we've been apprehending.
KIRK. That'd be inhuman.
Well, where are they?
I gave them a very good home, sir.
Where?
I gave them to the Klingon, sir.
Since the height in May to this past January, we have dramatically reduced those number of people that we were just releasing in the United States.
Gave them to the Klingons. Aye, sir.
We've dramatically reduced, almost all but ended catch and release. And that's because of this president's initiatives and this president's tools that he's provided us.
Before they went into warp, I transported the whole kit and caboodle into the air engine room, where there'll be no Tribble at all.